All right, so speaking of the Super Bowl, we're going to get to our predictions, our plays on the side, the total, and props in just a minute. But how about another promo from our good friends over at BetMGM? A touchdown always worth 6 points, but the longest one could mean you get $250,000 in bonus bets. Wager on any player to score during the game, and if your pick has the longest touchdown of the week, you'll win big-time bonus bets on top of your wager. Here's how it works. Opt into the longest touchdown jackpot promotion. Place a $10 anytime touchdown bet up to one eligible bet per game. And if your player scores the longest touchdown of the week, you'll win a share of $250,000 in bonus bets only at BetMGM. All right, Jenks, we've been marinating on our thoughts for the Super Bowl for a long time now. It feels like weeks upon weeks and many moons. But now it's finally here, our big game prediction. So let's start with the winner. Who do you think wins the Super Bowl?
I think the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl. I'm going against me, leaning into Kansas City because of Patrick Mahomes, because this is what they do. And I just have this feeling that Saquon is going to have one of those games that we talk about for a long time. Maybe I'm being bamboozled here. But what have we seen from him this season? We have seen brilliance. We have seen dominance. And I think because of the way that the Eagles play, which is not necessarily a sexy type of football, not compared to today's NFL, where guys are slinging the rock around. The Eagles are like, you know what? It's old school for us. Best offensive line in the game. Cam Jurgens is healthy. We're going to hand off to Saquon, let him do his thing. And if we need to throw, guess what? We can. And also, Jalen Hurts has been banged up. Not any longer. He's healthy. Looked really good against Washington. Got those RPOs going again. Now he's had an extra couple weeks to get ready. The Eagles also have the number one defense in the NFL. So I know that if you're Spags and you're the Chiefs, you focus all on Saquon. But isn't that what every team ever has tried to do this season? And the Eagles are so diverse and nuanced in the way that they run the ball. It's not just as easy as putting extra guys in the line of scrimmage. The Eagles are exceptional at this, and there is a reason why they have won 14 of 15 games this season, lost one to the Commanders when Jalen Hurts got exited or got knocked out of the game in the first quarter with a concussion. They probably win that game. Who knows? Regardless, 14 of 15, potentially 15 of 15 in the NFL with a healthy quarterback is remarkable. We have slept on how good the Eagles are all season long just because their offense isn't as dynamic as other offenses or doesn't look the way we're accustomed to offenses looking in the NFL. I believe the Eagles are the better team. This is Saquon's time. This is going to be his game. I'm going Eagles on the money line, plus money.
All right, so I understand that you can make a really good case for the Eagles. And in a vacuum where you just look at numbers and you look at the overall talent, the Eagles look like the more talented bunch. But I feel like if this game comes down to the last 2 minutes, which team do you want to take? Which side do you want to be on? Do you want to go against the quarterback who's 7 for 7 on game-winning drives in the final 2 minutes of the postseason? I don't. At the end of this game, do you want to look in the mirror and say, hey, I'm the one that bet against Patrick Mahomes again? This feels like when Tom Brady was making his dynasty run and there were still people who were betting against him. I'm not going to be one of those people. I understand that it's not just Patrick Mahomes, too. This is a great defense as well. It's not just the Eagles that bring a great defense to the Super Bowl. The Chiefs have done it time and time again. In fact, people use this as ammo against them. They say, oh, the Chiefs didn't score more than 30 points in a single regular season game this year. They still won 15 games because of their defense being so good. So I'm taking the team that I feel like has the better big game experience. And I don't want to look at the mirror at the end of the Super Bowl and say, Chelsa, you knew this was coming. Why would you bet against the Chiefs? So I'm not. I'm going with the Chiefs.
Well, I can't knock you. You can make a strong case for either side. You can definitely make a case for the Chiefs. So when you say I'm going with Kansas City, I'm going with Patrick Mahomes, I get it. Maybe I'll be the guy looking in the mirror after the game and saying, what were you thinking? But I've kind of had that feeling all week, and I've been fighting against it because of the reasons that you mentioned. And so, look, the Chiefs are awesome. And win or lose in this game, what they've done is remarkable. It's very hard to do in the National Football League. I'm not of the ESPN belief that there will be a failure. Which team is the bigger failure based on who loses this game? Neither team will be a failure. You're still conference champion. Yes, you'll be disappointed. But I'm just going to go with the Eagles. I feel like this is going to be Saquon's game. Like, he's earned this. This is his time. And I keep going back to that. And I want to see the Chiefs stop him because guess what? No one has been able to stop him.
I think it's a good point, and I don't think they are going to stop Saquon. But look at last game. The Chiefs, James Cook ran all over him. And that was James Cook. Like, one would think that Saquon's probably going to have an even bigger game. But if the Chiefs can go against the reigning MVP and Josh Allen and give up a bunch of yards on the ground to James Cook and still win a game, I think that's probably what's going to happen for the Chiefs. Is that Saquon's going to get his. I see him going well over 100 yards in this game, but still, like, the Chiefs have proven that their offense goes up a notch in the postseason. Last week was their biggest performance, offensively speaking, of the entire year, and it was against a good Bills defense. So I just keep coming back to the Chiefs, but let me say this, a PSA. If you have a side, stick with it. I feel like this is the hardest time of year to stick with your gut because there's so many people that are going to be making their cases for either side. But at the end of the day, I think you want to feel like you went with your gut and you trusted your instincts. So at the end of the game, you're not saying, I took their pick and I should have stuck with mine. So whatever you feel, just say it with your chest.
I'm just going to be a hater. Hater alert. Hater alert. Hater alert. I don't know. I'm just one of those people that I'm tired of Kansas City winning, okay? Both things can be true. Kansas City has been incredible. There's no questioning that. And I'm really happy for Andy Reid. Of all the people I'm happy for, I am so happy for Andy Reid. And it's ironic, too. We were talking to Jack Fritz about this. He goes, how ironic is it that Andy Reid was in Philadelphia forever? He went to 5 NFC championship games in Philly. And I think 4 in a row at one point. One Super Bowl, lost that Super Bowl. And so now, for the Eagles to get over the hump, they have to beat Andy Reid, who now has 3 Super Bowls. So it's almost poetic justice here for Andy Reid. It's like, yeah, now the team that is trying to beat me is the team that eventually got rid of me or that I left. So for him, I'm very happy, but ultimately I'm ready for something besides a Patrick Mahomes late game-winning drive, although it wouldn't shock me if that happened.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not rooting for it either. So maybe it's a little hedge of my happiness. So I'm rooting for the Eagles, but I'm betting on the Chiefs. And we'll see which way that goes. How about this total? Because I feel like this is the one thing that we've actually seen movement on. For a while, it was 49.5. Then it dipped down to 49. Now it's sitting at 48.5, despite 76% of the bets being on the over. And I feel like every time I try to do like my final game predictions with like, the final score, I keep hitting the over. And I understand that there is a world in which we see like a 24-21 or 24-20 game. But I just feel like both of these offenses are so productive that they're going to get points on just about every drive. Like, maybe you stop them in the red zone a couple times, but both these teams are so dynamic and the play calling is so good and they have so many weapons that despite the defenses being really good, I still don't think I want to take the under. Like, maybe I'm not playing the over, but I don't think I'm putting money on the under.